Hello and welcome or welcome back. This is the pouch that we'll be making today. It features a little flower on each side and a nice tie closure. We're going to begin by making a magic ring, and I will quickly explain how I like to do it. You're going to take your tail between your pointer and middle finger, drape it over your pointer finger, and then twist your hand towards you. So we see that our working yarn is resting over these three fingers. You're going to take your middle finger and your thumb and just find a point to pinch. Make sure you leave a bit of a tail there, and then you're going to take the tail and make a loop that goes underneath the point that you're pinching. Then pinch that again, and so now we have a little loop. You're just going to insert your hook face down, grab the yarn, pull it through, twist your hook towards you and up, and that is the beginning of our magic ring. And then go ahead and chain one. And so now for round one, we are going to make 6 single crochets. And 6, and then take your tail, pull it nice and tight. We are going to be working in a continuous spiral, so we're not going to slip stitch to the first. We are just going to begin round 2 by working directly into that first stitch. Go ahead and insert your hook, and then we are going to increase in every stitch around, which means we're going to put 2 single crochets in every stitch. At the end of round 2, we will have 12 single crochets. So go ahead and do that, and I will meet you for round 3. We are going to begin by increasing in the first stitch. So we're going to make our 2 single crochets, and then we are going to place 1 single crochet in the next, and we're going to repeat that all the way around, and we will be ending with 18 single crochets at the end of this round. So increase, single crochet, increase, single crochet. For round 4, we want to stagger our increases so we don't end up with a hexagon shape. And so in the first stitch, we are going to make 1 single crochet, and then we are going to increase in the next, and then we are going to work another single crochet into the third stitch. And we are going to repeat that pattern all the way around. We're going to make 1 single crochet, increase, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, increase, 1 single crochet, all the way around. So continue doing that, and I will meet you for the next round. Alrighty, and your last round should have ended with 24 single crochets around, and your last stitch would have been 1 single crochet. For round 5, we are going to increase in the first stitch, so make our 2 single crochets, followed by 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. 2 and 3, and you're just going to repeat that all the way around. Increase followed by 3 single crochets, increase, 3 single crochets. For round 6, it is going to be similar to round 4, where we are going to be breaking up our single crochets from being in one long chunk. We are going to do 1 single crochet in the first stitch, 1 single crochet in the next stitch. I'm going to go ahead and pop my stitch marker on, and then we are going to increase in the next, and then followed by 1 more single crochet in the next 2 stitches. And so it was 2 single crochets, increase, 2 single crochets, and now we're going to make another 2 single crochets, increase, 2 single crochets, 2 single crochets, increase, 2 single crochets, all the way around until you have 36 stitches. I forgot to mention, but in the last round you will also be ending on 2 normal single crochets. And now for our last round, we're going to begin by making an increase in the very first stitch. And I'm going to go ahead and pop my stitch marker in. And now we are going to make 5 normal single crochets, 1 in each of the next 5 stitches. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then just continue that all the way around by making an increase followed by 5 single crochets. Increase, 5 single crochets. That was our final round, and so now we are just going to slip stitch into the first stitch of the round, and then chain 1 so we can fasten off, and then just pull your hook through And that is it. For the next step, go ahead and follow those instructions to make another circle, and then I will meet you to attach our circles, and then we will work on our petals. Alrighty, so go ahead and grab 2 stitch markers so we can mark the opening of our pouch. The first stitch marker is going to go into the stitch where we slip stitched into, and so that is 1. Don't forget to skip this slip stitch that we made. And so that's 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and that's where I pop my second stitch marker. And you're going to place your stitch marker through both circles, and now we're going to slip stitch the edges together. And so with the same color, go ahead and make a slip knot and pop that on your hook. We're going to start on the left of our first stitch marker. You're going to go through the back loop of the circle closest to you, and then the front loop of the circle in the back, and then just go ahead and yarn over, pull through both loops, and then finish your slip stitch. And you're going to do that all the way around, going through the back loop of the circle closer to you, the front loop of the circle farther away, and make a slip stitch. And you're just going to do that all the way around until we get to this other side. And so these two are going to be our last stitches that we work into. So keep going, and I will see you soon. I am making my very last slip stitch. And now I'm going to chain 1 and fasten off. And now we are done with color A, so go ahead and grab color B, and we'll make our petals. Alrighty, time to start working on our petals. And so you're going to grab your color B, make a slip knot, and pop that on your hook. We are going to be making petals on both the front and the back. And so the front is the one where you are able to see your slip stitches, and the back is obviously where the back of the slip stitches are. Each petal is going to go across 6 slip stitches, and we are going to start with our very first slip stitch that we made. So go ahead and pop your hook under both loops of that, and we are just going to yarn over, pull through, and make a slip stitch. And now we're going to chain 2, and we're going to work a double crochet in the very same slip stitch. And then in the next slip stitch, we are going to work 2 treble crochets. And a treble crochet you make by yarning over 2 times, insert your hook, and then you're going to yarn over again and pull that through the stitch. And now we have 4 loops on our hook. Going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the final 2. And so go ahead and make 1 more treble crochet in that same slip stitch. And then I will pop the name of this next stitch up on the screen, but we are going to yarn over 3 times, and we are going to work that stitch into the next slip stitch. It's the same as the treble crochet, where you're going to yarn over 3 times, into your hook, yarn over, pull that through, and now we have 5 loops on our hook. Yarn over, pull through 2 times, yarn over, pull through 2 times, yarn over, pull through 2 times, yarn over, pull through the final 2 times. And you're going to make 1 more in the next stitch, and that was our halfway point. We're going to reverse those stitches, working in the next 3 slip stitches. And so go ahead and make your quatorze stitch, the quad stitch, I'm not sure what it is actually called. And now we're going to make 2 more treble crochets in the next slip stitch. And our second treble crochet. And then in our final stitch, we are going to make 1 double crochet. We're going to chain 2 times and slip stitch back into that same stitch. Oopsies. I will do 1 more petal with you, and then you'll do 3 more on your own, and I'll meet you for those 2. Alrighty, so now we are going to be working at the top of our flower. And so remove your stitch marker, but keep it in the back in the same spot. And then do that on the other side. Remove it from the front circle, but keep your back spot marked. Alrighty. And so now go ahead and insert your hook into your loop again. as we can see, this is where we had slip stitched. You can see the front loop and the back loop of it being pulled up. We are going to slip stitch into the back loop of the next stitch, and then we are just going to repeat that same pattern for the petals again, but this time just working in the back loop only. And so go ahead and continue doing that, and I will meet you to fasten off. So I just finished my last petal, and to finish it all off, we are going to slip stitch into the very first one that we'd started working in. And we're going to slip stitch just to connect it all together, and then kind of maneuver your hook to the back to make your chain one. Make that nice and tight, and then fasten off. And so that is the front all done. And so now we're going to work in the back, and it was important to keep these stitch markers in the same spot so that our flower petals will line up correctly. This was the first prototype that I made, and as you can see, I'm pretty sure I was just one stitch off, and so the flower petals aren't lined up perfectly, and it just looks a little messy. And so go ahead and make your slip knot and pop that on your hook, and we are going to begin working in the same place as we did last time, but this time we are going to be working in the front loop only of the single crochets that we had slip stitched into. And so our stitch marker makes it easy to know that that is going to be our last one. And so this one is our first stitch that we're going to be working into. Right now it kind of looks like we're looking at the top of a chain, and so we are going to be going in this front loop, this bottom edge. Go ahead and make your slip stitch in the first one, and you are just going to follow the same flower petal pattern all the way around. And so that is how it's looking. As we can see, it is perfectly lined up. You can't see the one behind it when we're looking at it, which is what we want. That is how the middle looks. You can see just a little bit of our color A. Super cute, and so just continue all the way around. And for the top, we'll do the same thing that we did here, where we will work in the back loop only, and then we'll slip stitch back into that space where we had made our first stitches of our petal. So go ahead and make the rest of your petals. I will see you for making our little strings to close the pouch. Alrighty, and so now we're going to make our strings. And so to do that, we're going to start with a slip knot on our hook. And so now we're looking at the inside of the pouch, and as you can see, these were our double crochets and our chains, and so there's 2 slip stitches right there in the middle of our 2 petals, and there's this tiny little bar. We're going to make a slip stitch into that bar. You might need to wiggle your hook around a little bit to get it in there, but it is the perfect middle, and so go ahead and do that and make a slip stitch. And then we're going to chain 20. And this can be as long or as short as you want. I just found 20 to be a really nice length. And so we chained 20 plus 1 so that we can tie off. And there we go. And then just do that on the other side. And so for weaving in our ends, we will start by flipping our pouch inside out. These ones are magic circle ends. We will just go through the bars of the single crochets as many times as you can to make sure it stays really nice and secure. And then you can go up and weave through these other rows. These ends on the corners, just go ahead and bring that up through any row. Same with your flowers. Just pop them through the bars of all of those stitches that we worked. And when you're weaving your ends in that are on the side, try and weave them on the inside and not the outside. So if they do pop through, you won't be able to see them. And for the tail of our chain, we are just going to go in through the top down to the bottom, through every single one, just weaving up and down, just like that. So I'll go weaving my ends and then I'll show you the final reveal. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed today's tutorial. Please let me know down in the comments if you have any questions or issues, or if you have any future tutorial requests. Bye!